What is up, guys? Dad Dash here, and I'm coming to you with a special video tonight with a topic that I think will surprise many, but I wanted to share this with everybody. It's kind of I think, an exciting time, and it's going to be a time that I think we're going to get, in my opinion, some much needed answers on a topic that is all over, and that is whether or not diamonds are a dasher's best friend. What do I mean by this? Well, officially today, Dad Dash has become a priority diamond dasher. That's right, today. I have a 73% acceptance rate currently with DoorDash. And I'm going to tell you in this video why that is, why I decided to do that, and I'm going to give you a little insight into the journey it took and how long and exactly what that looked like for me. So let's jump into it. So a week ago today, or a week ago today, I was under 10% acceptance rate. In fact, last Thursday I was in the single digits when I was dashing. Certainly would not have thought I'd be at 73% acceptance rate today. However, that's where I stand. The thing that drove me to decide to go for a higher acceptance rate and to look at the diamond program is exactly the last video that I did on this channel, which was criticizing the new tier program that DoorDash is coming out with. And then watching videos and giving that great consideration, I started thinking to myself, you know, Dad Dash, you've never, ever had a high acceptance rate. I mean, except for the one time when you reset your acceptance rate. You've never collected data. You're doing exactly what you tell everybody in the videos not to do. You're relying on a feeling. I think my feeling's pretty good. But there's a lot of people out there that claim, hey, you get a high acceptance rate, that there's a way to work, that there's a smarter way to work, a quicker way to work. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I should go out and give this a try. So this past Monday, I decided to take the dive, or I guess it was this past Sunday, I decided to take the dive, and I started the process. I skipped during the day on Tuesday, but I decided to start the process of increasing my acceptance rate and getting diamond status with a goal to get top dasher status so I can dash anytime I want through the month of July. And then I'm going to put everything to the test. And I'm going to compare data month over month, day over day. I'm going to be doing data comparisons to truly do exactly what I have claimed will be proven, and that is that I believe 110% that more money will be made as a multi-apper who isn't concerned with acceptance rate, who isn't bought into the programs, and that is the way to make money with gig apps. And that I am not going to go in with bias though. One might say, well, you're already biased, Dad Dash. No, I mean, I am to a degree, but I am very open-minded going into this exercise. Very willing to be proven wrong. So much so that I've not let anything get to me over the course of the last few days. And I'm going to describe that for you and go over that with you so far, what I've seen, what it's been like. And it's been quite interesting, to say the least. So that's the hope. My plan is to do the following. I am going to attempt over the next few days, over the next week or so, to continue on the path of accepting every single order except as a diamond driver. I am going to focus primarily on the DoorDash app, and I am going to collect a week's worth of data as a diamond driver and see exactly how much I can earn accepting every single order with diamond status, large order program, pizza program, shop and deliver program, and see what priority really does. And I'm going to compare it to the weeks and months of data that I've already collected as a low AR multi-apping driver. I am going on a vacation at the end of this month. My plan is to leave my Dasher account in top Dasher status so that when I get back from that vacation at the beginning of July, I will hopefully be coming back in as a top Dasher. My hope then is to begin a process and a strategy that I've laid out in my mind, which I will describe in subsequent videos, ride-alongs, and everything else that I'll be showing you over the next 6 to 8 weeks, that I'm going to then experiment as a top Dasher / diamond driver, multi-apper, utilizing all of, literally unlocking the full app, so to speak, as some have said, and all features of the app, and see just how much money I can make in the month of July. And then I will be doing a full review at the end of July of how it turned out, how it compares to the last 6 months of this year, how it compares overall as my time as a gig worker, gig business operator. And I will obviously give the verdict of will I continue into August and beyond, focusing on maintaining a high acceptance rate with DoorDash and possibly even adding other apps to the mix depending on how this works out, and seeing if a high acceptance rate centered strategy is a way to make not just money but more money, to make the best money that you can make in the gig economy. And I'm going to back it up not with suppositions, not with feelings, not with, hey, I got this order here and this order here. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you what the miles are, cash flow is, everything. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, hit subscribe to the channel now. There's going to be content coming out for that. Like this video as well, because if you know anyone's interested in seeing something like this, this is not going to be your regular run-of-the-mill challenge. This is going to be a numbers-based, analytical-based experiment to see what it actually looks like when you're collecting data alongside of your dashes, and what does the data really tell us. We won't perhaps settle the debate because it's a market-based situation. It's going to settle for me and my market. But I believe everyone will be able to gain something from this, learn something from this. I know I'm looking forward to what I will learn over the next 6 to 8 weeks, and how I can take that information and use it to grow and advance my gig operated business that I run. The next thing I want to talk about, the final thing I want to talk about, which is the thing that I think a lot of people will be interested in, is how did I do it? What was the experience like getting my AR from a single digit AR and to a 73% this morning, or today, this evening, and where I will go beyond as I continue working this for over the next few days, next week or so, prior to me going on hiatus for vacation. So I'm going to say this. I've heard all the hullabaloo about Hell Week and how hard it is and this and that. I'm not sure how everybody else's markets are, but my market, I am convinced my market is one of the toughest markets out there, specifically the Hagerstown, Maryland market that I am working in right now, the Martinsburg, West Virginia market that I work in. These are saturated. None of them have referrals. They're completely oversaturated, and you spend a lot of time sitting, waiting. You've got a large swath of people that are not going to tip you. You've got every pitfall, every complaint that you can think of exists in that market. And it is a challenging market. It's large, there's lots of miles, it's just, you name it, it's there. So I have always envisioned that something like this was going to just be hell on earth. I was going to lose massive amounts of money. I was going to have like gas bill was going to be huge. I was going to barely crack $100, and it was just going to be just horrible. Now, it was not great. It has not been great. I'm not saying it is. What I'm saying is it was also not the end of the world either. I also still made money. I still cash flowed at the end of each day, and now I sit at 73% acceptance rate. The thing I didn't see, the interesting thing is when this process started on Sunday, I have not seen and did not see and have not seen one large order program order come across my screen. And again, I'm doing this probably slightly different than maybe others might, because I jumped in and just said I'm taking every single order. There's only been one order that I turned down in this entire process, and that was today because I use multiple. I've been using multiple phones. I forgot my battery pack, so I had to switch phones. I still have my driver utility helper filters on the one phone, and it turned down a 225 Papa John's order. I'm not going to say I was unhappy that got turned down, but it did get turned down, and that's been my sole turn down. Everything else has just been straight up. What DoorDash puts on my screen, I'm hitting accept, and I'm off. And it's been quite interesting. So, let's see here. So I told you, since Sunday being the, guess that would be what? Wednesday the 14th, 13th, Tuesday, 12th, 11th. So the 11th, all right, so the 11th of, let's see here. So Sunday was when I started. I did 14 orders that day. Now again, I'm counting them as contracts, so there may have been some doubles in there. I don't see any. Actually, I see one double in there. So I did 15 total orders, and it was all DoorDash. And I made $115.12. Drove 152 miles, 76 cents per mile. $23.82 overall order value, and $16.52 average order value for the time I was out. I spent 6.97 hours out, and I worked 69% of the time. So actually that was very in line with some of what I've been seeing out there on other days. Ended up with a shift cash flow profit loss of $84.38 after taxes of $581, car expense fund of $15.20, and actual gas cost of $9.73. So that was not terrible. Again, on the 12th, I went out, drove 188 miles, completed, let's see here, 15 total dashes for the day, 2015 average order value, 2248 average delivery order value, worked a total of 7 hours, and worked 90% of the time that I was out. So, and drove at a 76 cent per mile. So you can see I'm driving a lot more miles for certain, but it's not killing me because I'm in a Prius. So I anticipated that. You know, and that was part of why I was willing to do this. I only did one order on Tuesday, and that was a $6.50 Taco Bell order for 10 miles, and that's all. And then today I did a total of, today was crazy. Today I did a total of 25 orders, 177 miles driven. Now think about that. That was a lot lower than the previous day that I showed you in there, where I drove 188 miles. But I drove 177 miles, 95 cents a mile, 167.65 total earned for the day, 1401 total order value, 1762 delivery order value, 80% work rate, and cash flow wise, I cash flowed 122.79 out of 167.65 for 1932 for taxes, 1770 to the car expense fund, and 784 in actual gas costs. And that's my story all the way up. Now, some of the things you're not seeing in there. Today was the most interesting day I had because I delivered 10 no-tip orders. As you know, as a value-based driver, I don't get caught up necessarily in tip or no tip. It's all pay to me. So it didn't really bother me that much. Knock on wood, so far, my ratings went up to 4.99%. I'm not seeing anything coming now. I'm going to be looking tomorrow morning, obviously, because, you know, I have 10 of those sitting out there. And I have a lot of low tip orders. My average tip for the day was $2, if that tells you anything. That is extremely low. Average tip per order was $2. Very, very low. So, as of right now, I have seen nothing that indicates to me that there's a real priority out there. What I have seen is I am making similar money, a little bit less money, but somewhat similar money, but delivering more orders at a lower order amount. And that has always been my theory, that DoorDash is a volume-based business who wants the Dashers to deliver more units for the same amount of money. In other words, they don't want you at $10, $12, $15 per order, because that means you can make $200 doing 10 orders, or, you know, or doing 15 orders, as opposed to making $200 doing 30 orders. And because DoorDash is paid by the order, they make more money each unit delivered. We don't necessarily see more money per unit. So if they give us a $2.50 no tip, it doesn't make a difference to them. They're making the same money on that as if they give us a $30 one. The only difference is our incentive to stay out and work is lessened when they give us the $30. So what they're doing, in my opinion, is simply encouraging everyone to come to the top, and then they're going to slowly spread everybody's work out so that it takes you longer to make the money, and therefore requires you to do more orders to make the money, and then they make more money. As opposed to our incentive is to make more money doing less orders. And by focusing on larger order amounts, which is what I do on a normal basis, that helped me with my bottom line leading up to this. So far, since I've started this, I'm having to do more orders. I'm working longer, and we'll see how that bears out, because I've only been at the highest priority level for a couple of hours, and it got a little bit better, but it really didn't improve that drastically. So we will see how it pans out as we go further into this, and I'm very, very interested. But it was a very interesting experience. I've been talking to support a lot more. I've had all of my security measures in place. I'm body cammed up. I'm recording on my phone. I'm ready to, I am absolutely ready to be, to prove that I did the job any way I need to. And that's you know, that's just the cost. So anyways, put any questions in the comments. I may go live and do some live diamond dashing tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, I'm going to put this video out, make this announcement. I think it'll be a surprise to some that are following my channel, but I have not changed. I'm doing this because I want to find out. I want to get the data. And I figure, you know what? Who better to do it than me? And so far, it's not costing me that much money to do it, so I'm happy to do it. And maybe something will kick in tomorrow now that I'm in the top priority status. And maybe I will finally see what everybody's been talking about or claiming exists when you get to a certain level of priority, that the LOPs and pizza programs and everything will just start flowing and being dropped upon my screen, and I'll be going, wow, this is crazy that I'm getting all these orders this easy. See how it plays out. Anyways, guys, as always, stay safe, stay profitable, and I'll talk to you soon.